It really is a complete coincidence that I'm wearing this shirt though. Because when I wake up in the morning, I just grab the first shirt out of my closet and I put it on. And then if it smells bad, I take it off, throw it in the hamper, and just grab the next shirt. And so yeah, I just happened to be wearing the shirt, and then I turn on the camera and I realize like, oh yeah, normally I will plan ahead so that when we get to the beginning or end of the week, I'm wearing one of my WNBA shirts when I film. This time it just happened by happy accident. Greetings and welcome to the Fan Perspective. I'm your host Nathan Lyle, and this is another edition of WNBA Weekly. And also, if you're not new to this channel and you saw the video that I put up on Tuesday, yeah, you can just kind of disregard that because they keep fucking with me, and so my schedule at work has changed again. So I will be working this weekend, but I'm not going to be working Monday or Tuesday, so there will be a new video up on Monday. On Tuesday, you had the Stars going into the game on a 3-game winning streak, and the Mystics going into the game on a 4-game losing streak. The rookie McBride, she had a game-high 17 points. But Meesseman, she had a double-double with 10 points and led the team with 13 rebounds and 6 assists. The Mystics were just a little too much to handle on both, and both of the winning streaks come to an end tonight. Then you had the Storm and the Sparks. Tamika Johnson led the team with 11 points and 5 assists. But the Sparks, they just had all-around great games. Nneka had 20 points and 11 rebounds. Parker had 20 points and 11 rebounds, but also led the team with 7 assists and 4 blocks. Needless to say, when your Stars are putting up those kind of numbers, you came away with a win. Then on Wednesday, there was Chicago at Connecticut, and when I saw the score, I was disappointed, and I was like, of course, Chicago lost again. Delle Donne and Fowles sat out again. But then I saw the box score, and I had a mini-gasm when I saw that Delle Donne and Fowles both played in the game. Delle Donne only played 16 minutes, but she was second on the team in scoring. And Sylvia Fowles, she led the team in 4 different categories. She led the team in playing time. She got a full 32 minutes on the floor. And she led the team in points with 17, rebounds with 9, and blocks with 3. In her first game of the season, leading your team in 4 different categories, including minutes played, that's kind of impressive. Unfortunately, just not enough. The Sun had 4 starters in double figures, led by Alyssa Thomas, who had a career night, career high 23 points, career high 11 rebounds, first double-double of her season. And the Sun, they get the win, which is now their 6th straight. And then for the Indiana Fever, all 5 of their starters scored in double figures, led by Shavonte Zealous, who had 33 points on the night. But Courtney Paris had a double-double. Odyssey Sims and Glory Johnson both scored 20 points. Skylar Diggins had 32 points, her 2nd straight game scoring 30 or more points. And the Tulsa, for the 2nd game in a row, they go on the road and win it in overtime. And then on Thursday, McCarthy led the Dream with 18 points. Sancho Little had a double-double, and the Dream hold off a late rally from the Stars to hold on for the 2-point win. And I wish I could say I was shocked. Kind of expected this much. So after all that, here are the current standings, and you may notice not too much has changed. And a little bit of brief news I want to talk about before I get into the upcoming games for this weekend. Diana Taurasi is currently 3rd place on the all-time scoring list, and she is only 48 points behind Katie Smith for 2nd place all-time in career points. And Taurasi for her career averages about 20 points a game, which is 2nd all-time. And they played 2 games this weekend. I think it's going to take her like 3 games to get this. But there's the potential she could break this weekend. So even though I doubt she will, since she has the ability to, I've decided to just go ahead and mention it right now. Okay, now that's out of the way. So let's get to the weekend's game. You got a full slate on Friday. It starts with Connecticut at Washington at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Connecticut, they've looked unstoppable lately, winning 6 straight. However, let's mention the fact that they are 7-1 at home, which is remarkable, but 1-4 on the road, which is not quite as remarkable. The only road win of the season came against New York, the worst team in the league right now. Then again, they've only lost once in the entire month of June. Then you've got Phoenix at Indiana. This game is also at 7 o'clock. And Phoenix has won 3 games in a row now. They're at the top of the league. And, before the season started, I figured they would make a run at the Western Conference title. And so far, they're proving their strength. They beat the Lynx twice. I mean, they just look like a very dominant team right now. Whereas Indiana, they look like a 500 team to me. Then you've got Chicago at New York at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yes, I know, I'm constantly repeating Eastern Standard Time. It's annoying to me too. But even if I say at the beginning of the podcast that all times are Eastern Standard Time, there are still going to be those people who just aren't paying attention, and then they're going to tune in at 7, and they're going to be like, wait, the game started at 6? What the hell? So anyway, Chicago at New York. Thoughts? Delle Donne and Fowles are back. Yay! Rejoice! I mean, I can understand if it takes a little time for both of them to get back to like 100%, and it might take some time for the chemistry to really build up back together, because this is the first time that they've had all of their starters back in the lineup, and it might take a little while to gel before the Sky are really living up to their full potential. It might be another 2 or 3 games where they struggle a little bit before they really start to just play like the Chicago Sky should play. But New York is the worst team in the league for a reason. Then the last game of the night, Minnesota at Seattle at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Seattle has been less than amazing this year, but they've played, decent at home. And Minnesota, their first loss of the season, came to Seattle, albeit it was a very small loss. And honestly, watching it, I felt like it wasn't necessarily Seattle winning as much as it was Minnesota just kind of giving it away. And Maya has been tearing it up lately. And on Saturday, you've only got one game, but it's a pretty exciting one. It's Los Angeles at Tulsa, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And right now, these two, it's been a very entertaining matchup. The home team has won every single game by a minimum of 11 points. Right now, the Shock are riding a winning streak. Skylar Diggins, she's playing like an MVP. I just don't see the statistics changing too much tonight. Then on Sunday, you've got a full slate of games. The first game is Connecticut at New York, and this one will actually be on TV. It'll be on NBA TV at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the Liberty, they finally managed to grab a win, surprisingly, against the top team in the Eastern Conference. But that's the outlier. Overall, they've still been the worst team in the league. I have no confidence in them at all. I would be shocked if they somehow managed to win 2 games in a row against the longest winning streaks in the league. It used to be Atlanta until the Liberty beat them. Now it's Connecticut. I have trouble thinking the Liberty can do it again. Though I will admit that would be a very interesting story. They can only win a game in order to bust up a streak. Then you've got San Antonio at Washington at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and they just played each other, and the Mystics dominated. Although San Antonio has actually a better road record than at home. They're under 500 at home, but they've got a winning record on the road. That could come into play. It could be a factor. Then again, it could be another blowout in the Mystics' favor. Who knows? Fact of the matter is, by the time this game starts, I'll already be at work. So, if I didn't have bills to pay, I wouldn't bother going to work, and then I would have time to sit at home and watch every single game, each one just on a different device. Just get live access for my tablet, and my laptop, and my cell phone, and have the TV up. Then again, if I didn't have a job, I wouldn't be able to afford all this shit. The next game will be Phoenix at Tulsa at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time, and this has been a really one-sided affair. The home team wins every game by a minimum of 11 points. Tulsa, they've won their last 2 road games, and both of them in overtime. They're looking pretty amazing right now. But Phoenix, they've had a lot of time to rest and prepare for this game, and they've had a lot of film to look over. Then you got Atlanta at Indiana at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and this one's actually going to be on NBA TV as well. And they split their first 2 meetings with the away team winning each game, And Indiana, they've been struggling lately. And then the last game, not only of the week, but the last game that's going to be played in the month of June, you have Seattle at Minnesota at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Well, that's it for this edition of WNBA Weekly. Tune in on Monday for another all-new edition. But until then, this has been The Fan Perspective. I'm your host, Nathan Lyle, and I hope you enjoy your weekend. At the very least, I hope you enjoy it more than I do, because I'll be at work every single day.